What's going on YouTube? I am Mr. Knife Guy and welcome to my review on the Demko MG AD20. So this knife was purchased at DLT Trading, your one stop for all your knife needs. Big shout out to DLT Trading. They always have the latest and greatest knives, and their drops are really easy to get. Sign up for the email alerts that notify me when available, and you will score one of these bad boys. I know these are hard to find, but they do drops pretty often. So diving into it, this is the all TI smooth AD20, and it is the Cru-Wear blade, and we have the clip point, and this one is really cool. I really like this grind that they're putting on it now. I haven't seen that in the past in the older models, but man, what a great freaking knife this is. This is one of my favorite knives. The Shark Lock, I mean, it really needs no introduction, right? This is just such a smooth knife. I haven't had an AD20 the full thickness, and I gotta say I love it. And also I haven't had a full TI, right? This has been kind of a grail for me that I've been hunting for the last 2 years, and you know, I've had opportunities and didn't pull the trigger, and man, this one finally became available and I just had to get it. Man, I was bummed. I actually hesitated on the new one with the full grip, and I could have had one of those, but I didn't get it with a full finger groove. But you know what? I really like this one. I love Demko knives. I absolutely love them. They are one of my favorite American knife makers. It is just the smoothest knife to flick. Just how easy these are to manipulate. You know, this one is a little bit stiffer than my other one. It hasn't quite broken in too, but man, the lockup on this is just so solid. It feels so good in the hand too. It just has the best ergos. And I absolutely just love the blade. Man, it's fidget factor 10 out of 10, form factor 10 out of 10. Man, durability, quality 10 out of 10. This knife is a 10 out of 10. This is one of the best knives you can get. So we'll go over the specs really quick on this bad boy. We have an overall length of 8.75. We have a closed length of 5 inches. We have a blade length of 3.7 inches. We have a blade thickness of 0.175. That is the thick bad boy. The blade style is the clip point. The blade finish is stone washed. We have the titanium scales, and this is the Cru-Wear blade. So I haven't had a Cru-Wear steel before. I can't really say, you know, I've had so many different blade steels, you know, blah blah blah, S35, S45, S90, Magna Cut, you know, D2. They're all the same to me, you know, M390. I don't know. I prefer what is considered a higher quality blade steel. So, you know, we all go after the nicer steels. Magna Cut was kind of all the hype for a little bit there. And you know, I like the nicest one that I can get, but so far, first impressions, this is really good blade steel. Just the most solid knife. The weight of this knife is incredible. I mean, this is just such a big, beefy knife, and I have larger hands, so you know, I kind of fully meet the requirements for the entire scales being used. Man, just such a fun knife though. This is just, Demkos are so good. And so we'll compare it here to the little brother, the AD20 0.5. So this is also the clip point blade, and this is the the D2 steel with the G10 scale. So you can see kind of the difference here in the size, right? There's a pretty big stark contrast between the two. The thickness is just incredibly different, just insanely different. Weight, this thing feels like it weighs like 10 of these. But this is still just one of the most fun fidget factor knives. These are just so great because you can pick them up for like, these are always on sale for like 180 bucks or 225 bucks, and for that money, what you're getting, that's just a steal. These are a little bit more pricey, obviously, but it definitely is worth every penny. I mean, you have just such an insanely solid construction on this knife. This knife would last, you know, through the apocalypse. Nothing's taking this knife down. I mean, this is like the M1 Abrams tanks of knives. So we'll check it out to the other AD20 that I have, and this is the S. So you can see how small, how thin that blade is compared to the big one. When I got this, I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I didn't really think the blade was thin until I got this, and then I'm like, wow, there's a huge difference between the S and the full AD. This is the Clip Point V2. I've done a video on this one. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you've seen it with the G10 camo number 4, I believe, scales. But this is such a great knife because it's so light. Like, this literally weighs half as much as this. Maybe not literally, but it does feel like it. This one is just ridiculous how smooth it is. I mean, it's just crazy. They're both just crazy though, how insanely smooth and flickable, the fidget factor on them. So, gosh, what more can I say about this knife? You know, it's just an insane knife. Everything about it is so good. Now, you'll probably notice with my channel, I never really say anything bad about a knife. Maybe that's because of my pure enthusiasm and love for knives, and I kind of do the same with watches, but I'm not a really negative person, and I don't nitpick and go, oh, no, like all these people with an opinion. You know, I'm an engineer. I've been in manufacturing for almost 20 years now in US manufacturing, and I love high quality made products, and I can see, you know, what goes into something and how much it takes just to get something from start to finish, from conception, design, through production, manufacturing. So I tend to be more on the positive side and kind of look at how cool things are and, you know, how much someone went through and what went into it, than to point out the negatives or the downsides about it. So that's kind of how my reviews are. But honestly, I don't have a single negative about this. Maybe other than, you know, this is pretty stiff. It doesn't ever bother my finger, but I always see people complain like, oh, my finger got worn out. But that's about probably the only thing you can complain about, is you'll be playing with this thing for so much because it's so freaking fun that your finger might get worn out. And if you don't get the deployment all the way, it'll come back and bite you. So you don't want to try and do a flick and get your fingers in there really quick, because back when I first got one of these, I've done the failed deployment, comes back, I already put my fingers under it and landed on it, and it cuts you pretty good. So you kind of got to watch out when it comes to that, you know. See I you know, I didn't get it quite, it'll come back on you. So maybe with the shark lock, that's something to look out for, because the shark locks sometimes will have a bite. But yeah, that's about it for the AD20 Cru-Wear. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm pretty sure I am, because I made sure to watch a video and see how someone else said it. But if it's not, we're both wrong. But that's the Cru-Wear blade, the thick bad boy, and I love this knife. So that's it, guys. That's the review. Thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for all the support. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a like and maybe even a subscribe if you enjoyed me. But like always, guys, enjoy your knives.